Hello everybody! Today's video is about the introduction to Java. This video is presented by Girl Up Plainsboro. What is programming? Programming is the process of developing instructions for a computer to perform a specified action. So you still may be a little confused about what programming is and what it is used for. So let me go into more detail. Programming is used for almost everything related to technology. For example, robots use programming. In order to get them to move, you have to program them. Video games use programming. In this second image, this is all the code for a program to run the video game. Even websites use programming. In order to get a website to run properly with all these buttons, you have to program it with code. Now, in order to program, you have to know about the different languages. So you know how in real life there's different languages: English, Spanish, French, Chinese, Hindi. There's all these different languages that people use to communicate with each other. And programmers also use different languages to communicate with computers. Some of these different languages include C++, C, Python, HTML, and even Java. Java is a computer programming language that interprets text that follows certain rules and converts it so the computer can better understand it. So throughout this video, we will be using Java in order to program. So the first thing that you need to know about Java, when you write a code, you have to name the class. So you would do public class, whatever you want to name the class. So in this example, the name of the class is Hello World. Notice how the H and W are capitalized. This is called camel case. A lot of programmers in anything related to coding use camel letters. So basically, that's when you capitalize the first letter of the word. So in this case, the H for hello and the W for world. And you have to make sure there's no space in between, or else you will get an error. The second thing you always need in your code is the main method header. The main method header in Java is the entry for the program to run. Without the main method header, the code cannot compile or run. So the main method header is public static void main string args. Okay? Another thing that you need to know about Java is print statements. Print statements are how a programmer can display text on the output window. So an example is system.out.println, and then you have an open parentheses, quotations, and close parentheses. In the parentheses, you put what you want to write. So if you want to put, it is summer, you would put the words, it is summer, inside of these quotations. With print statements, there are two different types of print statements: system.out.println and system.out.print. I will go through these later in more detail. So you need to know what a compiler is in order to know what Java is. A compiler is a piece of software that can interpret the code you write and convert it into bytecode that the computer can understand. So we will be using a compiler in order to see the code we write. So today we are going to write our first piece of program, and it's going to be called Hello World. So in order to write this program, we need a compiler. And what compiler we're going to be used is a website called JDoodle. It is free and you do not need to download anything. Just follow the next steps that I do and you will have your first piece of code as a program. and you will have your first piece of code as a programmer. So the first thing we're going to do is search up JDoodle. And we are going to press the Java JDoodle because we are learning Java. So they already give some code for you. Like I said before, public class, my class. That's how you name your class. So we're going to call it Hello World because the program we're writing is about Hello World. The next piece of code is the main method header. They already provided it for you. So public static void main string args. We're going to delete all this code inside of these curly brackets, and we're going to write our own code. So remember when I was talking about print statements before? This is where I'm going to go into more detail about them. So if you remember, we have to write system.out.print quotations, and inside of the quotations, you write what you want the computer to output. So we're going to write hello world, and we're going to put a semicolon at the end. Without the semicolon at the end, the program won't run because you will get an error. So let's execute it. So the compiler compiled the piece of code and hello world was outputted as a result. Now let's see if I got rid of the semicolon. What would happen? You would get an error right here. So the code would not output as expected. So you would have to add that semicolon. Say you wanted hello world to be written the same way as it is here, but you wanted to write it a different way as code. So you would delete world and you would do another print statement, system.out.print, and you would do world. You would execute it. Wait, but now there's not a space here. What would you do? You would either add a space after hello or a space before world. So say we added a space after hello and we executed it. Now it's hello with a space world. Now I'm going to talk about println statements. Okay? So say I added system.out.println hello world. Take the space out and let's execute it. Now, what did that do? It put hello and world on two different lines. So basically what it does is you do system.out.println and the next line that is executed after hello will be on a different line. So let's go into more detail. Let's say if we did system.out.println world, and then we added another statement, and for this one we did system.out just print, and then we put it is summer with the exclamation point because we're excited about summer, and then a semicolon. Now let's see what happens. Hello world, it is summer. All of it is on a different line, and that's because in this statement, we did system.out.println, which means that the next statement executed after this statement is going to be on a different line. That is why the words, it is summer, are on a different line. So, this is your first piece of code that you have written, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to email girlupwwp@gmail.com or comment below on this video. Thank you.